Hey, welcome back to Arcane Odyssey. Today I'm going to be showcasing my one weapon warrior. And yes, it's just as terrible as it sounds. Um, Keep in mind, I want to state this before getting into any of the PvP stuff. Uh, this is a training setup, mostly used to help me learn how to dodge, how to block, stuff like that. I use it to help me get to know game mechanics, because when you only have one weapon and three skills, you kind of have to rely on normal game mechanics. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's what you have to do. Anyways, uh, let's take a look at my stats. 51 power, because, I mean, 50 is just a good number to have your power hover around, in my opinion. 300 agility, because of certain PvPers, namely Mr. No Life, who introduced a, flaw in this build. You see, because Trident only has three skills, Trident Throw, a grab, and this thing, which has, like, no range to it, catching people is hard. So what people can do, instead of fighting me, is that they can just dash in a circle and I will never be able to catch them. It's actually a little hilarious, so I had to invest in 300 agility so that I can catch people who decide to do that once getting low HP. Right, attack speed, because I need the attack speed. Have you seen how slow Theros Bust is? Theros Bust? What? Sparrow Thrust. Ugh. Anyways, right, let me explain this. 80 vitality, I have 80 vitality. Yes, it's just because I'm only using Trident, man. That get it going like max weapons wouldn't do me anything if I'm only gonna use Trident. It just won't. Who cares about other weapons when you can have Trident? Am I right? Or am I right? Anyways, the main reason that I made this is because, once again, we're abusing clash rates. Guess what Sparrow Thrust has? It's exactly like Shot, except it has terrible range and an amazing clash rate. Like, its clash rate is stupidly good. It does not deserve to be this good. You know what? Let's talk about weapon types. Anyways, ignore that cut. Let's get on to the PvP. Even at the start, it's very obvious the restraints that only using one weapon puts on you. As you can see, even though Trident is one of the most flexible weapons in the game, having both a ranged attack, a grab, and a non-ranged attack, or close range attack, I'm still having trouble making complex attacks, and all my attacks are basically just dash in, punch, or throw, or dash. It's not it's not ideal, but I mean, I guess that's what every attack is at the end of the day, huh? The second problem is the aim, the skill requirement to use just a Trident. Trident, in general, has small skills, because grabs and throws have small AoE. The only one with decent AoE is Sparrow Thrust, and Sparrow Thrust does not reach very far at all. And in addition, every time I miss Sparrow Thrust, because of its deep end lag, I can easily get punished really hard. The third and final problem that I'm having here is the mere fact that he's playing Sailor Fist Lightning. Before today, I did not realize how busted this combination is. I'll get into a little more detail a little later when it's more obvious. Yeah, 500 damage true combo is pretty obvious, huh?
The reason that Lightning Sailor Fist is so overpowered is because of the pure amount of base secondary stats they get. If you don't know, Sailor Fist has a base size of 1.3, and Lightning has a base speed of 1.5. And neither of them have, like, a downgrade in the other, so they have both 1 times multipliers on the other stat. Which means when you combine them into Lightning Imbued Sailor Fist, or Sailor Fist, yeah, you get what I mean. You get a 1.3 times attack stat. It's like using basic fighting if you had 130 attack size and 200 attack speed already. Oh, and did I mention that they get a stun for their troubles? Lightning Sailor is basically the most meta combination to ever exist, which makes this guy, this Metamancer, the perfect target for someone like me, someone who's trying to completely tear down the meta. If I, a person with a single weapon, a warrior with a single weapon, can beat a Metamancer, it will show that metamancing means nothing. It matters not how meta your build is. Just build what you think is cool, and then force it to work. Become skillful enough so that it works, no matter what. I love how as I said that, I lost 400 HP to 1 move. One of the sad parts about this whole thing is that this guy is using both Insanity and Drawback in his build, which means that most of my damage on him is actually coming from Drawback. It's actually just all coming from Drawback. I'm doing, like, no damage. It's amazing, really. I had turned it into my mission to beat this Metamancer. I knew that if I could take even 1 match against this Metamancer, I could prove to everyone, to the world, that my builds are not bad. I can name this series, I can rename it to really good builds, or really funny builds, or actually meta builds. I just had to take 1 match. On second thought, maybe taking 1 match out of, like, 10 isn't that great. But still, my point still stands. Anyways, this match takes a little while, so I'm gonna allow me to enlighten you with a story of, like, funny times when I'm playing with these builds normally. People who PvP, their pride is absolutely hilarious. Like, while I was making and testing this build before I had, like, 200 agility, I was fighting the Savant, right? And the matches were really close. A Fire Savant, I don't really remember what the magic was, but the matches were really close, like 100 or 200. He was winning all of them, but he was 100 or 200 HP away from dying, right? And each time, he's like, bro, use another weapon. Bro, who you think you are, Kai? And I said, bro, I'm not the one who's almost losing to a guy with 1 weapon. And then he starts going on a rant in chat about how absolutely terrible his build is. Like, he just starts flexing. Oh, Savant is garbage. Oh, my build is so bad. Oh, you don't even want to know how much skill this takes. Oh my goodness. Did you know that I have 0 attack speed? Or not attack speed, attack size. I have 1000 ping. I have a giraffe licking me and eating my hair as we speak. It's really hilarious. These builds, they make people very mad when they fight me. It's so funny. I should be recording all of my fights so that I can show this next time. It's just like, I just find it funny that Yeah, I'm just kind of stuttering and going in circles now, but it's fine. My build is so trash. Weird flex, but okay. and then, that's not even the best part. The icing on the cake. This Savant goes like, oh, I bet you've never played Savant before. Then you'd understand the importance of switching weapons and learning how to use what when you need to use it. And he's like, oh my goodness, you're just taking these same skills and just spamming them over and over. You're playing such a skillless AoE spamming build. And I don't think he's ever used a trident before, which is like fair, but he does understand that I'm using one weapon and that I have literally no choice but to spam the same skills, right? Anyways. Back to the topic at hand. Usually I was a few hundred HP behind the Sailor Fist guy, or the Warlock that I was fighting, but here he didn't manage to land one too many 500 HP combos on me, and this led to me actually gaining, like, actually putting the match in a decent position. Like, our HP stats were around equal. I mean, he could still one-shot me at will, probably, if he gets a single attack on me. But, I mean, that's aside the point. And finally, I took an HP lead by several hundred. After fighting him for a full 30 minutes, I've got his pattern on lockdown. I know what this man does, how he thinks, where he's gonna move. I've got his method on lockdown. This is mostly why I run mostly tank setups. It's because I like to download my opponent and like learn exactly how they play before actually making offense. And now I had this guy completely on the download after fighting him for 30 minutes. Nothing was gonna stop me from beating this guy. Or at least nothing until he decided to start saying, wait, no, be cool, I gotta go AFK while he's on 100 HP and I'm on 500. Bruh! He really had the gall to just pull out his textbook of forbidden techniques, open it to page 255, and pull out the, wait, no, I gotta go AFK mid-fight. Yeah, we all believed that. Everybody in the room believed that. Deception 1000, bro. I did fight this guy one more time after this battle, but my heart just wasn't into it. I just felt that him going AFK mid-fight right as I felt like I was about to win, that just like hurt me in a way that I couldn't recover from, and I just said, nah, gotta go, bro, and dipped after that final match. It was just heart-shattering for me. But hey, just to prove that this build isn't complete garbage just because I got wiped with the floor, just because I wiped the floor with my face by a Meadowmancer, I'm gonna fight this random berserker I found off the streets, who doesn't have more kills than they have hours, but, I mean, yeah, kills to hours. If you don't have more kills than you have hours, I'm ranking you low on the power scale. You're not a PvPer, bro. And by those standards, I'm also not a PvPer, so, oh well. Anyways, I don't have a ton to say for this fight, so I'll let most of it play in silence, or, music. But this guy's a Sailor Fist Iron Leg Berserker. I personally really like Berserker to fight against Berserker, because they're a very straightforward class. They don't get any gimmicks. They have no access to gimmicks. They just have a full-on assault. And I really appreciate that. It's really something you can appreciate after fighting warlocks that metamats. It's a real breath of fresh air. I do win this match, but I got rolled 3 times in a row after that because my mind was other places. namely a certain metamancer, but you know, I'm just making excuses for myself. Anyways, enjoy. Reason one, I love Trident. Its grab is probably one of the best in the game, and has one of the coolest animations. It's just brutal.
Alright, it's conclusion time. So, obviously, this build is not centered around PvP. Evidently, I mean, who would use a single weapon and sometimes a shield with armored, which has no weapon skills unlocked on it, by the way, in PvP, seriously. Dang it, I have a fast walk again. Hold on, give me 1 second. Anyways, um, obviously this isn't centered towards PvP, but it can still be used in PvP. Which brings us to the whole point of playing a warrior who only has one weapon. Like, why would anybody realistically play this? Uh, the answer is because playing a warrior that only has one weapon is a really good way to force you to rely on the mechanics of the game, like blocking and dodging and reading your opponent. It's honestly just helped me, it's honestly helped with my skills in other sets, like the other sets that I've been using. Like, I think I mentioned it a few times, but in my other sets, but I've learned how to parry and block a lot better because of using this set. That being said, because it's forced to rely on game mechanics to survive, my one weapon warrior isn't actually that great for PvP. There, I said it, okay? So, I can't recommend a set like this for PvP, but a great way of training yourself, if you have a weapon-based class, is to just restrict yourself to one or two weapons. Just don't use all three. If you have to use all three, and you cannot be good at PvP without using all three, and you're a hybrid class, you're probably over-relying on weapons. And if you're a warrior class, then you're probably relying on spamming out moves too much, which is an issue. Either way, that should be fixed. I don't know. It's just taught me good PvP habits. Obviously, it's not supposed to be used for serious PvP. But, yeah. That's all I really have to say. Anyways, check out my homeboy, Nicholas Brewer. I don't know, I just like his last name. Brewer. Anyways, that's all from me. See ya.